I already filmed this video once and then I realized that it was out of focus the entire time, so here we are again. Maybe my ramblings will be a little more cohesive this time. Hi, I'm Kath, and I am here today to talk about cancel culture. I know, really groundbreaking topic, never been discussed before on YouTube. I'm discussing this as it pertains to the latest scandal involving the D'Amelio family, specifically Dixie and Charli D'Amelio. Obviously, I'm heavily involved with TikTok, so this piques my interest a little bit more than the average internet scandal. So I'm sure if you clicked on the video, you probably already have some gist of what is going on, but just in case you don't, I'll give my rundown of events. So the whole D'Amelio family has their YouTube channel, and they did a segment this week, Dinner with the D'Amelios, where they have dinner and have a special guest come and have dinner with them and just film the conversation, and it's just a fun little hangout. And James Charles was actually the guest on the first ever segment of Dinner with the D'Amelios. So they're kind of two little moments that people are really angry and upset about. So the first moment is they had a personal chef kind of doing the dinner for them, which I mean a lot of people think is stuck up or spoiled or whatever. I think it's kind of cool because it seems like the chef May is a good friend of theirs, and I think it's cool that they're hiring him and promoting him on their channel. But what do I know? All the food that he made looked really delicious. One of the things that Chef May as part of the dinner was paella, and I didn't know this before watching the video, but apparently traditional paella has snails in it, which I literally never knew this, or it has one snail in it traditionally, and the snail ended up in Dixie's bowl, and she pulled it out and was like, what is this? And he came out and explained it's a snail, traditional in paella, and she was like, so do I eat it? So she ended up eating it, and then she ended up throwing up outside by the pool because of how salty the snail was.
Isn't this food amazing?
It is. It's very
so
good.
A few moments later.
What happens when...
The next scandal involving Charli is at the end of the dinner. She was talking about how a year ago she hit 1 million followers, and she basically said,
I wish I had more time. Because imagine if I hit 100 mil a year after hitting a mil.
And James jokingly said,
was the 95 not enough for you?
So in my personal opinion, before I even got any backstory on the Dixie thing and the family's relationship with Chef May, I didn't think what she did was wrong or rude. I mean, she threw up. That's not really something you can control. Snails are not a common food in American culture, so I can pretty much guarantee, especially given her reaction, that she's never eaten a snail before. I don't eat any meat, so the thought of eating a new type of meat really doesn't appeal to me. But I found out even more backstory after Dixie revealed on her TikTok, and the chef has even addressed it. Apparently Dixie has a very strong gag reflex, and as soon as she found the snail in her bowl, the team, including the chef, was yeah, Dixie, you should eat this because it's going to be a major reaction and that'll make for interesting content. So they knew, including Chef May, going into that moment. I don't think they knew necessarily that she was gonna throw up, but they knew she was gonna be grossed out. I also have definitely had major gag moments eating food. I hate Brussels sprouts. My mom dared me to eat a Brussels sprout once, and this was recent-ish. I was maybe 19, 20. I was also an adult when this happened, and I damn near threw up. I hate Brussels sprouts, and that's a vegetable. I watched the whole video because I made an edit of it for TikTok before any of this happened. I'll pop it at the end of the video because it's funny in my opinion. I thought they were very polite the whole time. Every time the chef brought out food, I'm a very shy person, but I also always make sure to say please and thank you, and the way Charli and Dixie and everyone was thank you, very much reminded me of myself, and I just thought it was sweet. Obviously they're not gonna not say thank you on YouTube, or maybe they would, I don't know. I thought they were very nice the whole time. They were interested every time he explained the food and what was in it and everything. And I mean, I guess I can understand if you literally just saw the 30-second clip of her throwing up, you would maybe think that's rude and an overreaction, or that she should have hidden the reaction, but obviously the whole team made the decision to put that reaction in the video, and I don't know if I agree with that decision just because I think it's gross. I didn't need to see that, but I don't think it's rude either. And then with Charli, I think it gets even more ridiculous. So I'm obviously someone who's involved in social media. Like, I care about making content for social media, and I understand the caring about the numbers aspect of it. I don't think that setting goals for yourself means that you're unappreciative of how far you have already come. And she never said that. She never said 95 million isn't enough. I want to hit 100 million on the 1-year anniversary. She said it would be cool to hit 100 million on the 1-year anniversary. And I, as someone who keeps up with my social media numbers regularly, I understand that. I think it would be super cool to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. That doesn't mean that I don't appreciate the almost 8,000 subscribers that I already have. I think it would be super cool to hit 200,000 followers on TikTok. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate the 199,000 that I already have. It just means that because social media is a job. Once you get to a certain point, you get opportunities from it, and the bigger you grow, the more opportunities you can get. And obviously, like, Charli is literally the most followed person on TikTok, but that doesn't, she's still allowed to have goals. And I honestly have always been like, I think she's cool. Like, I think it's really cool that such a young person is so successful on a very new platform. Charli's this very normal teenage girl who's just been thrust into the spotlight. People need to keep in mind that she's 16 years old. Remember what it was like to be 16. I see so many adults commenting on this in a very negative manner, and I'm like, okay, you're 30, why are you hating on someone half your age for saying it would be cool to hit 100 million followers on an app? I remember being 16 and it wasn't a good time. I was very awkward, insecure. If someone had said the things that people say about Charli to me, I would have been absolutely devastated as a 16-year-old. And I honestly think that where a lot of this backlash is coming from, I think it's very rooted in jealousy. It's very rooted in jealousy because she already has so many followers. People are pissed that she would set a goal for herself and want more than she already has. I don't know. I understand it. I completely understand where she was coming from. I love numbers in general. I love looking at all the analytics on my social media accounts. I think it's completely reasonable and understandable and normal to have goals. I think what bothers me about the backlash that they're receiving more than anything, it's the fact that it's unwarranted and that people have done so many much worse things, grammar, who knows her, and they haven't received the same level of backlash. I can just think of Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, on TikTok, Tony Lopez, who was exposed for grooming minors, Chase Hudson, exposed for saying the N-word. They haven't received the same level of backlash, and it makes me feel and this is kind of how I've always felt about cancel culture, when people are participating in cancel culture at the level that they're participating in it with regards to Charli and Dixie right now, it feels to me like they don't actually care what this person did. They're not actually offended by what this person did. They just care that this is now a moment where they can get attention by canceling and talking about such a high profile person. And I recognize that even by making this video, I'm even participating in that because I'm piggybacking off of this drama that's going on, and I'm okay, I want to talk about this, and that's probably going to benefit me at some level on my social media platforms as well. And I don't even know if people necessarily realize that that's kind of how it comes across, but this is how I felt for a long time. The thing that always comes to mind for me is Tom Felton, who plays Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter, has blown up on TikTok a lot lately because Harry Potter is very popular on TikTok, but he liked one of J.K. Rowling's tweets. I don't remember exactly what it said, but it was related to all the transphobic comments that J.K. Rowling has made. And he's since unliked the tweet, but so many people have posted the screenshot of him liking it and explaining the context of the tweet and everything, and they're cancel Tom Felton, Tom Felton's transphobic. And I'm I have never, ever, ever seen the people posting about this speak out about trans rights or trans issues before speaking about it in the context of canceling Tom Felton. And that makes it feel very disingenuous to me. It doesn't seem like you actually care about the issue or the people who are hurt by the comment or the action. You care about the attention and you care about deplatforming the person, but not for the right reasons. That's how it always has felt to me. Like, if you've commented on like one of my videos before just saying like, do this edit, do this scene, and like not said please, like don't be commenting on my video edited of Charli and Dixie talking about how rude they are. Like, you don't get to lecture someone else about manners. You don't get to decide that you suddenly care about manners now. And I was talking to my friend Sam about this last night, and he also brought up a really good point, which I've like kind of thought about before too. At what point is it just bringing them more attention? Like, you say you're so mad about what this person did, and yet by talking about it, they're getting so much attention. Charli is losing followers right now. I think she's supposedly lost 1 million followers since people started like criticizing what she said in the video. But I can also guarantee that because of all the publicity that they're getting because of this, there are people who maybe haven't paid attention or haven't cared about Dixie and Charli before that are now choosing to follow them, and I can guarantee that they're gonna recover all of the followers that they've lost and more, because we've seen it happen before with James Charles a 1.5 years ago. Another situation where, especially after learning all the details about what was going on behind the scenes, I also think that he was very wrongfully canceled, slandered, whatever you'll say there. He lost 3 million subscribers in a week, was it? Like, he lost a lot of subscribers in a week, and he has gained them all back and more. It seems like he's doing better than ever. I don't think canceling people works in the first place. Like, if it did, Trisha, Paytas, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star wouldn't have a platform. And I get it to a degree. I wouldn't know about all the things Jeffree Star has said and done if it wasn't for me reading Beauty Guru Chatter subreddit and like seeing like the whole like everything laid out. I wouldn't know. But there has to be a line somewhere, and I don't know where that line is. At some point, you're not just telling people what they did, you're like very much like stringing this person up for personal gain. And I honestly don't know where that line is, and I would love to hear your thoughts, but I truly think it's more beneficial if someone has like an attitude or says something or does something that you don't agree with. Like, if you thought that Dixie and Charli were being rude in the video, like, just unfollow them and don't say anything about it, because chances are other people also watched the video and maybe clearly other people had the same opinion as you. Like, anyone who already cares about what's going on in their lives is gonna have watched the video on their own accord and established the opinion on their own accord, and by generating all this drama surrounding it, people who would have never known about it otherwise, never cared about anything going on in these two girls' lives otherwise, are now involved and now commenting on it. And the last thing is, it's just, there's so much else important going on in the world right now. My friend Sam said last night, literally, we are in the middle of the pandemic and this is what people want to do, like cancel our president, not 2 teenage girls. And that's exactly how I feel. But at the same time, it's not lost on me that the pandemic is probably contributing to the level at which people are participating in cancel culture right now, because many states, if not all states, are going back into very strict lockdown. We're all sitting at home bored again, and people have way more time on their hands than they probably did even 2 months ago, or definitely a year ago, that they're bored, and so they're going to hate on and get angry at these two girls because they're bored and don't have anything else better to do. But that's my 2 cents that nobody asked for. I'd genuinely love to hear people's opinions on this whole situation down below, because I'm obviously approaching this as someone who creates content but is also a content consumer. Like, I can't look at things from the perspective of someone who just watches YouTubers and TikTokers, because I am one of them. So I'd really love to know your thoughts. Like, if you agree that they're very like wrongfully getting hated on for this. Love to hear your thoughts on cancel culture in general. Let's have a little discussion in the comments. Come talk to me. Like I said, I'm bored. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to my rambling. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video, and I will go ahead and pop up the edit that I made from the video now, because I think I'm funny even if no one else does.
From the context clues that I have, it's someone in their 20s.
And they live in California.
They wouldn't book me for the Dixie D'Amelio show, so I'm here for dinner with the D'Amelios instead.
They tried to put me on the cover of Vogue, but my legs were too long.
Yeah, we were afraid it would be someone big, famous, but we didn't know who they were.
And people don't expect that from me. Like, expect me to be calm. They expect me to be like dancing 24/7 from what they see on the internet.
Did you win it?
I mean, I don't either. Yes, most likely to be famous.
I got most beautiful.
Did you?
Just some toasted bread, rub it with garlic, a little bit of sea salt, olive oil, and then squeeze some fresh tomato on it.
Do we have any dino nuggets?
I threw up.
It hasn't even been a year since I hit 1 million.
No.
Ugh, I wish I had like more time. Cause imagine if I hit 100 mil a year after hitting 1 mil.
Was the 95 not enough for you?